And after they had sung a hymn, they left the upper room and went out to the Mount of Olives, to a place called Gethsemane. He left the other disciples, but took with him Peter and James and John to a place where he prayed privately. Jesus confided in them,
"My heart is ready to break with grief. Remain here and stay awake with me."
Going a little farther, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed,
"My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. Yet not my will, but yours be done."
When he came back to his disciples, he found them sound asleep. 3 times he prayed, and 3 times he came back and found them sleeping. And Judas, one of the 12, came with a group of Roman soldiers and other armed men. Judas had arranged a signal with them.
"The one I kiss is the man you want. Seize him and get him away safely."
Judas walked shamelessly over to Jesus.
"Greetings, Master."
Then he gave him the kiss. Immediately the soldier laid hands on Jesus and held him fast. One of the disciples reached for his sword, drew it out, and struck the servant of the high priest, cutting off his ear. Jesus rebuked the disciple, and touching the servant's ear, he healed him. Then Jesus spoke to the mob.
"Am I leading a rebellion that you have come out with swords and clubs to capture me? Every day I was with you, teaching in the temple, and you did not arrest me. What you have done is confirm the writings of the prophets."
Then the disciples, fearful for their own lives, deserted him and fled. Those who had seized Jesus brought him to Caiaphas at his palace. Caiaphas was the high priest who had advised the council that it would be to their advantage for one man to die for the whole people. The priests were looking for evidence against Jesus so that they could put him to death. The charge was that Jesus claimed to be King of the Jews. Caiaphas examined Jesus directly.
"Have you no answer to these charges?"
Jesus remained silent. He asked again,
"Are you the anointed one, the Son of the Blessed?"
"I am."
The high priest turned to the others.
"Why do we need any more testimony? We have heard it from his lips. He has condemned himself. What's your opinion?"
"He is guilty.
He should die."
Some began to spit on him and strike him with their fists. Their judgment was unanimous. Now, Peter sat outside the palace, worried about Jesus. A girl came up and questioned him.
"You were with Jesus of Galilee, weren't you?"
But Peter denied it.
"I don't know what you're talking about."
Peter moved away to a porch, but someone else saw him and spoke to the crowd.
"Here is another of this man's disciples."
"I swear, I never laid eyes on the man."
Then a bystander accused him.
"You have to be one of them. You speak with a Galilean accent."
Then Peter began to curse and swear.
I do not know the man."
In the distance, a cock crowed. It was daybreak on Friday morning. The chief priests now delivered Jesus to Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor. When Judas saw this, he knew Jesus was doomed, and he repented. He tried to return to the priest the 30 pieces of silver paid for his betrayal.
I have sinned. I have brought an innocent man to his death.
The priests responded,
What do we care?
That is your responsibility.
Judas hurled the coins on the temple floor. Then he went out and hanged himself. Jesus was placed before Pilate for questioning.
Are you the king of the Jews?
Yes, it is as you say.
I find no basis for a charge against this man. He has done nothing to deserve death. Take him yourselves and judge him by your own law.
But the religious leaders insisted.
He stirs up the people all over Judea with his teachings.
And we are not allowed to put any man to death.
It was the custom that the Roman governor would pardon one prisoner at Passover. Pilate presented to the crowd both Jesus and Barabbas, a murderer. The chief priests and elders, out of envy, had persuaded the crowd to ask for the release of Barabbas and to have Jesus put to death.
Do you want me to pardon the king of the Jews?
No.
Give us Barabbas!
Give us Barabbas.
What shall I do? What shall I do with Jesus, who is called the Christ?
Nail him to a cross.
Crucify him!
While Pilate was sitting at court, a message came to him from his wife.
Have nothing to do with that innocent man. I have had a long and troubled night because of a dream about him.
When Pilate saw that he couldn't influence the crowd, he took a basin of water and washed his hands in front of the crowd.
I am innocent of the blood of this man. It is your responsibility.
And the crowd shouted,
His blood be on us then. We will take the blame.
Then Barabbas was released from prison, but Pilate had Jesus flogged and handed him over to be crucified. The governor's soldiers took Jesus into the common hall, where they stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him. They twisted a crown of thorns and pressed it on his head. Falling on their knees before him, they jeered at him.
Hail, King of the Jews!
Hail!
When they finished mocking him, they took off the robe and dressed him in his own clothes. Then they led him outside town as the crowds on all sides ridiculed him. They brought Jesus to a place called Golgotha, and there they nailed his hands and feet to a cross. Someone put a sign over his head that read, King of the Jews. Those who passed by mocked him.
So you would destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days?
Save yourself now. Come down from the cross.
Even one of the 2 thieves crucified with him reviled him. From midday, there was darkness over the whole land until 3 p.m. At that hour, Jesus cried out,
Father, I place my life in your hands.
When he had said this, he breathed his last breath. Suddenly, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. The earth quaked, and rocks were split in pieces. Even the tombs of the dead were opened, and the bodies of many holy people who had died there were raised to life. A centurion was with those who were watching Jesus. He felt the earthquake and saw all that happened.
This has to be the Son of God.
In the late afternoon, Joseph of Arimathea, who was a disciple of Jesus, secretly asked Pilate if he could take away the body of Jesus. Pilate gave permission. So he came and took away his body, binding it in linen cloths with spices, as was the Jewish custom. Near the place where Jesus was crucified, there was a garden, and a new tomb where no one had ever been buried. So, because it was almost Sabbath, and because the tomb was close by, they buried him there.
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they crucified my Lord?
As we leave this place, the light has faded, and the world feels uncertain and heavy. Go into the night in silence, holding the story of suffering and love in your hearts. Do not rush ahead. Stay with this moment. For even here, God is at work. Though the darkness feels complete, remember, this is not the end of the story. So as you go in silence, as you ponder on the story of God's love for your life, for you, for me, for humanity, wait, watch, and hope. Hope for resurrection, for new life, for new beginnings. Go in peace and with God's blessing. Amen.